What's happening, party people? Happy Motivate Monday. This is your daily morning motivational message where we come here every day because motivation is just like our personal hygiene. You got to do it every day, especially when you don't feel like doing it. It is not something that is a one off. It is not something that you can only do occasionally. If you do, you will suffer the consequences. Can you imagine what you would feel like if you only bathed once every couple of weeks? Can you imagine the impact that would have around other people and how they would feel about that? Can you imagine what you would feel like if you only brushed your teeth and flossed every couple of months, when you felt like it, when you were reminded to, when you understood the importance of it, but it was all based on your feeling? Ladies and gentlemen, there is a consequence to our inaction as much as there's a consequence to our actions. Not doing something is actually doing something. So when you think about the power of positive thinking, when you think about the power of staying on point, the discipline of it, there is a discipline to positivity. There's a discipline to positive thoughts and uplifting thoughts, because it's when you don't have it, when you wake up and you're just dragging, the ass is dragging, when you wake up and you're just not feeling it, you would just want to go back and lay down in bed, when you have no drive, no giddy up, but you still got to go do what you got to do. These are the days and the moments where we get a chance to really forge ourselves into the inner citadel of peace and consistency and strength and courage and stick to itiveness and the vision that we have cast. So I would invite you, on those moments and those mornings and those times when you don't feel like it and you don't have it, go back to the vision. Really take some time to further cultivate that clear and concise mental picture of your success. What does it feel like when you are in a home of your making, and the bedrooms and the bathrooms and the people, the loved ones that you're sharing the home with? The ability to welcome in friends when they're coming to visit, and if you have children, and having their friends have a place to come and feel safe and play and just enjoy each other's company. Go back to the specificity of that vision and embrace the joy and the feeling of sitting there knowing that you're in that space and place because you were steadfast, because you didn't waver, because you kept your commitment to your commitment, and because you especially showed up on those moments, those mornings, those days when you didn't have it, you didn't feel like it, you did it anyway. You were persistent, understanding that persistence breaks resistance. When you have moments when sometimes things are not going your way, and sometimes life is giving you a good old fashioned butt kicking, and you're getting it from all sides, and you feel alone, you have to go back to the vision and go back to the specificity of what you're seeing yourself create, impacting people's lives positively, impacting people's lives transformationally. Find and see yourself doing things for other people, lifting them up. Because when you focus on someone else, pouring into them, bringing value to them, taking the focus off of yourself, it allows you to be proactive instead of reactive. When you're proactive, you're saying, you know what? I ain't feeling it right now. So let me pick up the phone and call someone and just give some love to them. Let me pick up the phone and call a family member and pour into them. Let me pick up the phone and just tell somebody that I appreciate them for how they've been showing up in my life and the fact that they're a part of my life. See, you can actually take the focus off of what you're not feeling. You can take the focus off of the fact that you don't have it in that moment and redirect it in a positive way. So that's taking positive thinking and coupling it with positive activity. And guess what? When you keep doing that, eventually you're going to forget about not feeling great. Eventually you're going to stop focusing on what's not happening. You're going to stop focusing on what you're going through and start focusing on what you can grow into. And therefore, you can now begin to parry the inevitable peaks and valleys of life, the trial and tribulations that we all have to go through. And so I want to encourage you this morning. The weekend for some was traumatic. Some people got home from this weekend to some very difficult situations, very unfortunate happenings, and they're going to have to navigate that. They're going to have to weather a very difficult storm. It's not going to happen in a day or a 2 day or a week, or it's going to take some time. Some people came back and they had the best weekend of their lives and they're on cloud nine and they're going to carry that all the way through to the end of this week. Some people were just kind of in the middle of the road. They got up, they mowed the lawn, they watched some TV. Maybe they went out to eat with a loved one and watched a movie. And, it was kind of, same old, same old. But I want to invite those of you that have a dream, that you're dream driven, you're goal driven, you aspire for more, you have an ambition to become more, you are on point, you know what you want, and you're willing to do the work that it takes to get it. I want to invite you all to re-engage with your vision this morning, to really embrace the feeling of what that is when you fulfill your promise, when you cross the finish line and then you start a new race toward a new finish line. When you climb and summit the mountain, then you find a new mountain to climb and to summit. You achieve your goal, you find a new goal immediately to work and get after. But what is it going to feel like when you hit that first target? When you can look back and say, man, I weathered the storms. I stayed true to myself. I was consistent. I was persistent. I am so proud of how I showed up each and every day. And look what I have to show for it. You're not always going to feel it, ladies and gentlemen. You're not always going to have it. And you're still going to have to show up with a great attitude and do the work. Show up with a great attitude and make the dials, make the calls, set the appointments. Find ways to get in there. And again, especially when you don't feel like it. Because it is how you show up on your worst days. It is how you show up in your worst moments that determine the quality and the length of your best days and your best moments. That is how we forge ourselves. It doesn't matter. It's easy when everything is going well. It's easy when you're feeling it and you're in the zone. It's easy when things are in flow state. But can you be of the same mind and energy and commitment when things are not going well? When people are not showing up? When you don't feel like it? When you feel the exact opposite, but you got to do it anyway? That, ladies and gentlemen, is about courage. It's about personal pride. It's about your discipline. And it's about your willingness to not give in, to not give up, but to stay the course and keep putting in the work. Have an awesome and amazing week. Happy Motivate Monday. Let's keep making it do what it do. If you got some value, please like and subscribe. And go ahead and pass this video on because it's a blessing to be a blessing.